Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Vanilla 1.0. In our last episode, we did quite a bit. We, of course, watched the opening sequence. It's very brief, but we still watched it. We set up some mining and smelting here manually, or somewhat manually, and we set up some power generation, some labs for research here, radar, of course, to start revealing some map space, and we fought some biters that were out in this area. So that was a pretty successful first episode. Kind of got to touch almost every feature of the game. And we now have we now have to kind of start up with the automation. So it was a good place to break. We got some of the basics done, and now we can start working on some automation. So first off, I want to go ahead and pick the next research that I want to do, which I think is going to be the logistics research. So we can get underground belts and splitters. And then let's start working on some automation. So I have plenty of materials, I think. And I want to build a few of these. We'll say 5 of those. I also need to repair this. I guess I can't now because I'm building stuff. I need to make another repair pack so that I can repair that. Make 5 of those too. And the first thing that I want to automate is, well, sometimes I first thing automate is science, and sometimes I automate other things, but I think today it's going to be science. So let's grab assemblers. There, I think, is where I usually put it. And I'm going to do an assembler here, and here, and here. And we also need some inserters. Forgot about those. Make a bunch of those. Okay, here comes that repair pack. Go ahead and put this down and repair the repair. And now it's inserter time. So the first thing I do here is I set up some inserters. No, I don't need that one. To insert iron into an assembler making iron gears, and an assembler making automation science. And then I shift right click to copy, shift left click to paste that recipe from one assembler to the other. And now we need a couple of boxes. Let's put those there maybe. And those are going to be filled with the iron in order to make the iron gears, and the copper plates in order to make the automation science. Now you can see that automation science takes 2 iron plates for every copper plate. And that's in total for the whole process here. So we need to set it up so that that can happen. There and there, and I guess we'll put this one up here someplace. Oh, and then we need, of course, inserters here and here to put the automation science into the labs. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 400 of those, and then 200 of those. That'll give us about 200 science that we can make off of what we have here. And right now the assemblers are assembling, and then we have automation science being automated into the labs. So the other things that I'd like to build kind of early on, and actually let me start making a few more of these. The other things I'd like to build early on are gears, because as you can see, we use gears for a lot of things. Let's do a little bit of a backbone here. And then I'll bring this down. And let me think, where do I put this usually? And that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work. And so what I'd like to do with, no, this doesn't work. I lied. Need to be one further apart. I'm also going to put it down a little bit. Just to make gears alone. We also need some boxes for this. Just make a few boxes. And I just put in, man, need inserters too. And we need more iron. We'll have to go get some of that. So I have inserters taking iron out of this box. Iron, please. And I see copper is just about out of coal. So let's go refuel the copper. And I think now is the time for full stacks. So I'll just left click drag over all of them to make sure they fill up with coal. the copper fills up with coal. Did you get that one? No, you did not. All right. Now we have lots of coal in each machine, so we don't have to worry about it as much. Okay, iron. Just put a bunch in there, and then we put inserters putting the gears into a box here. And that way I can come by and just pick up all the gears and make all the things. The next thing that I like to automate is, I think, usually green circuits. No, I'll do belts first, maybe. I'll do... Nope, that's wrong again, Wally. I'll do green circuits first. Okay, so green circuits take iron and copper cable. So we'll make some copper cable here. Now if we look at the recipe again for green circuits, we see that we need 1 iron for every 1.5 copper. Let's put down, again, 2 boxes. And insert from there, output from there. And then we need 1 iron for every 1.5 copper, so we'll do 2 iron and 3 copper. This isn't a perfect ratio, but this is good enough to get us started. Oops, I did this wrong. Stop. We can do it like this. And this is good enough to get us started, and then we'll go from here later on. Well, I messed up, but that's fine. Go there. And logistics is now finished. Probably the next thing should be light so that you guys can see what I'm doing, because I know this is very dark for YouTube, but I wanted to go completely unmodded, so we have to deal a little bit without the Afraid of the Dark mod. It should be okay. What I should have done here, what I may even redo, I'm not going to worry about it. This won't last long. And then we have this here, and here I'm going to make belts. And I almost messed up again. Let's move these up 1. Move these up 1. And I'll talk about why here in a minute. Okay, so we need to have belts here. Belts require gears. So then we'll make some gears here. And belts require 3 iron plates for each. So we need to put the gears in here. But we need to make a red inserter. You can also do this with making the putting these at a different angle to position them properly. But this is, I like doing things different ways, different times. Kind of add some variety and spice to your life. So we're going to do it like this time, compared to like something like this the last time. And so we need to just have a bunch of iron in here. That's 300, so that's enough for 300. That's 300, so that's enough for 100 belts. And then we'll just get some more. And that'll make 300 belts. Optics is finished. How about, probably not going to build walls yet, so I'm not going to make walls yet. Let's do electronics. And for the early game, this is plenty of science to go on. I can also borrow cables from here then too if the iron runs out. Well, I got a perfect ratio, so it won't matter. It's fine. So this is what I do, kind of just early game, kind of semi-automate making different things. Now, one of the rules that I set for myself for this playthrough is I am not going to use any blueprints. That may not be a 100% true rule. I may use some blueprints of some balancers later on in the game, but at least to start with, I'm going to not use any blueprints of any sort of builds. The balancers are the only case just because they are sort of complicated to build, although I have the 4-to-4 memorized, so I won't need to use a blueprint for that one anyway. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to start actually setting up some places to do some smelting, kind of permanent smelting places, because I'm not going to set up a starter base on this, really. I'm just going to go ahead with permanent stuff. But I think where I want to go with, eventually with like the real bus will be up here, I think, from when I looked at the map preview, when we all looked at the map preview at the beginning of the last episode. But as you can see, we're polluting a lot. So we're going to need to probably also work on some defenses very soon. But I want to get some automated smelting going, especially for things like iron. So, wait, some of these are damaged too? How about you? You're all damaged. Okay, they were all damaged. Pick up, pick up. So let's start out with getting just some of these supplies that we have going. And gears too, sure. And we have some furnaces, 13 furnaces, but we need to have some more furnaces. So I want to make some, I want to start mining, I should say, some, you know what, I will make an electric miner. At this point, I think it's probably best to just start using electric. Although I guess then I need electric poles. But I want to start mining some stone, and in order to mine the stone, or in order to make the stone bricks, rather, we need to mine the stone. So let's do like this, so I don't have to go through those furnaces, and then I'll just go around. And then up here. And then an electric miner, I think I will put that here. And it can go here, that's a good place. And it can go right into an assembler. And that assembler is going to make stone furnaces. The assembler should hold, I think, 50. No, it won't hold that many, I lied. But I can make the ones I have the stone for here. We need a box and an inserter. And we're just going to make a bunch of these, maybe like a row of them. That's the, by the way, that's the filter delimiter. So you can click the X and just put your cursor on the cell after the last one you want to be available. And it blocks those cells out so that they cannot put other items into those slots. This will make 50 per slot, so we can get about 500 of these furnaces, and that should be great. The new mining drill animations and even a sprite here is really cool. They've changed it a couple of times recently, and I don't think they had changed it even the first time, the last time I played Factorio on screen. So so this is revision sort of 2 lately, but I really like this new animation where it's it kind of meets the original, well, the long-standing version and the first revision in the middle a little bit here, and makes it a really nice, I think, a really nice sprite here. I probably should have done 2 mining drills for this, but I'm okay. The next research, do I want to do fast inserters or do I want to do walls? I think I would do fast. Where can I get to with this? If you click on a research, by the way, that you don't, actually I probably should do these, that you don't have that's red, it'll show you over here in the tech tree what items you need in order to research in order to get that unlocked. And so we need to have steel research in order to get the armor. So I guess I probably should do steel, and then I should probably do the weapon shooting speed, which improves shooting speed of any physical projectiles, and then weapon shooting. I can only do one at a time. Stop it, Wally. You forgot about, you don't have the research queue. And then the weapon projectile damage, which improves the damage of basically every physical projectile as well. I guess that's redundant, physical projectile. Okay, so that's that. Smelting. So I think I'm just going to do maybe some shorter smelting columns, some half columns to start with. We can always extend them out later on. But smelting is, in order to do smelting kind of efficiently, there are a few ratios to know. The first ratio is how many electric miners will fill up one yellow belt full of ore. And that number is 30. And the reason that is yellow belts are 15 items per second, and electric miners mine a half an item per second. So in order to get 15 items on the belt per second, we need 30 miners. 30 times a half is 15. And so that means that we take the 15 and we look at how fast we want to smelt iron, for example, into iron plates. And that's 3.2 seconds per iron ore to iron plate. So in order to convert a full belt of iron ore into a full belt of iron plate, we need to have 48 furnaces. That is 30 items per second. I want to make sure I do this math. Oh, sorry, 15 items per second times 3.2 seconds is 48 items. So we need 48 furnaces in order to produce a full belt of iron. Now to start with, I'm only going to do a half belt of each just to kind of get everything going. And then from there, we will expand accordingly. Although I guess I need some more iron anyway. So let's go ahead and pick up these and let them get back to work. So I'm just going to come over here a little bit further and set up some smelting columns. And we're just going to do, like I said, half columns in order to make a little bit of a starter base, kind of by hand, making some of these key items. I'm out of power. Well, guess what? I ran out of coal in the coal for the power. And now we don't have any power. So now I need to run over here and put coal in. And I might want to also look at expanding this too. We might be draining to check what power looks like. Because we also need to automate power very soon. Oh, we're only using about half of our power. So we'll automate power after we set up a smelting column. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I want to make some. I'm just going to do 10, which is about a third of a belt, not a half a belt. Okay. This looked like it was running slow, but I think it's just I'm not used to the new animation yet. And then we also need to have our furnaces, as previously discussed. I'm going to pick up what's here. Now I just want to talk about a furnace smelting column. So 48 furnaces would be a full smelting column. This will be a half a one to start us off. And in order to do this correctly, we need to have a belt feeding iron ore along the outside of the smelting column. And then we need to have a belt in the middle to output the plates onto. And then we need to have another row of, I guess I could have run these down from the top. Another row of furnaces, and then another belt feeding iron ore. But we also need fuel in these. And we can just use the blueprint tool here, or the copy tool here, to count the number of furnaces I have to make sure that I do have, in fact, 24. So we need to bring in some fuel, and that would be coal. And there's a nice trick that one can do to make to make this work out kind of better for having multiple columns, multiple smelting columns. And that is to use the undergrounds to bring in coal into the inside of the smelting column. I'm not going to make that last one. To bring coal into the inside of the smelting column, instead of having it be, I know how to belts too. Fed some other way. And that neat trick is to use splitters like this to output onto this belt. And the belt goes in each direction from the splitter, but the fun part of this is, you know what, I should have done this up one. Corrections, corrections, corrections. The fun part of this is the coal comes in here, it gets split across, or it gets split between this through belt and this belt here that goes into the splitter. And the splitter, because of the way that this is laid out, will only output the items onto the top side of each of these belts. So the coal will come in from the side here, and will go onto the inside of each of these belts going up alongside the smelting columns here. And then the iron can come in here and get dropped onto the bottom of these belts, which means that it's going to only be on the outsides of these columns here. And the excellent advantage to this is there's a biter there. Oh, I need to make a gun. How long has that biter been there, and what else has he destroyed? Okay, you didn't destroy that stuff this time. Where did you come from? Down here? It could be out here too. This is going to be a mess. With me doing this, this is going to be a mess. So we have, and then you can take this out like that. Actually, I'm going to make this one bigger. So you have the iron coming in, you have the coal coming in, and then the inserters can be placed, and I'm just going to place the couple that I have here, like this, and then like this, to input the iron and coal into the furnaces as needed. We need a lot less coal than we need iron, but as needed, and then output the iron plates onto the center belt. Let's go over here and get some more green circuits. We'll pick up some more iron along the way. And we're out of supplies for the green circuits. Okay. Pick those up. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Oops, nope. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry about that. That goes there. Gears are done. Make some more. Put 500 in. And I should probably pick up some more copper. Okay, so we have, let's see, we have belts. We need to make inserters. I don't have inserters automated yet, but I'm going to make a bunch. And since I picked up the gears and I picked up the green circuits, I can do the right click to make 5 at a time. And it only is making the inserters because that's all we need. So this is kind of the pattern I like to use for the inserters, like this. And then on the other side, of course, the same type of way. Oops, not those. This one here. Not close enough. That's the message. That's the error sound that many people are very big fans of. We need more. And then, of course, all these inserters are flashing, which means that we need to bring them power. So I'm going to bring the power across some more. Just make like a power backbone here. And where I like to put power at is, you can see they have a coverage range. I like to put the power kind of like this. You need all 3 because if you don't do that one, then the middle inserters aren't covered. And then we can do one here. And then we can skip some space and do here. And then here. So now we would have power if I connected this to the main line. Actually, I will probably disconnect it. Now I'll connect it down to the main line like a good Factorio player. Except that there we go. Okay, I lied. There we go. So now that's connected. And we just need to have some automated mining for mining coal and mining iron. And I think I'm just going to do maybe, I think I'll go up with this, by the way, because of the closeness of the patches. Nope. 2, do like 4 of these, and make some more miners as well. And then we'll have a belt coming out of that, and going this way. Actually, I'll go up one more. Oh, I need to do more research too. Let's do the weapon shooting speed. Oh, and I made that gun. So in our inventory here someplace, oh, put it over here. We have a submachine gun, so I'm going to put that in the slot with the ammo, and I'll leave the pistol here just to have it. But you can see the submachine gun has more of a range and way more shooting speed. 3 more tiles of range, but 2.5 times the shooting speed. So that's a very useful thing to have. Let's see. Let's bring, I guess I'll bring this power up here. Then I want power there, and there, there. I'm going to fiddle. There we go. So now we're mining coal. It still seems slow, but they're not. And then I can bring the coal down this way. And into that belt. And that'll go into the inside. And then we can do some electric miners here. There. I want to try and plan this out well. There. We'll do it right here. Okay. So it's a little bit uneven, but I think it's okay. Or I can make one more and make it even. So we have the same amount on each side of the belt. Hello. And they destroyed one piece of belt, and they damaged some others. And we're going to have to find those biters very soon. Now I have a submachine gun. It'll be a little bit easier to find. Come this way with this belt and into here. And then we just need to have some power poles here. Maybe we'll go there with it, and then here, 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 and there. So now we're automatically making iron plates using this half smelting column once the iron gets there. Wait a minute, did I go too far here? Yeah, I did. Okay. The other thing I want to do is I want to continue making... Oh, we're out of gears. I want to continue making some more coal miners so we can send some coal over here to power before this runs out, which it has quite a bit left. So that'll be fine. But we'll go ahead and get it set up. Nope, wrong spot, Wally. That should hopefully be enough. But I want to use a splitter here. And I'm going to use a priority splitter. Actually, I'm not going to prioritize it yet. But I will switch that to be a priority splitter. There, and that's in the way. We aren't going to need these much anymore. So that should be fine. That goes there. Okay, so this we can bring over to power. Am I going to run into a cliff? Of course I am. We'll have to squiggle a little bit here. So this needs to go in the same line as this box. And there. And I think I want to make some more. This one, this one. And once coal kind of starts making its way down here a little bit, then these can get activated. So the water passes through these because you can see they have a double arrow here. So the water will pass through and balance or whatever between the two. They're in and out ports basically, and then the steam goes out this way. And I need another burner inserter. I like to use burner inserters here on power just because all they need to get started is a piece of coal, and then they're good to go. All right, so now I need to take this out and put that in. And hopefully there's enough there. And now I have a crap ton of coal in my inventory. But that's okay because we need it. There. And that'll go there eventually. I'll go ahead and feed these guys one more time just to keep them supplemented. Let's take out the copper. So we're going to do some exploration, and I think I might do that in the next episode. Oh, you ate that belt too. Thank you. But before we leave this episode, let's make one more of these right next to this other one. At least get it started. That'll go here. These can go here. This might be too close for later, but these aren't going to be the permanent smelting columns, so I will change that. I may change that design later. Okay, so this needs to come... Nope, that stays there. I lied. Okay, and then this goes here. And we're going to put copper in this one. more splitters. And probably, actually I'm not going to. There, and I'm just going to, for now at least, end this one right there. Who could save Wally? And we'll bring the copper in somehow into this smelting column. And that'll get us started there. Could do the inserters, I suppose. And then I think we'll probably have to go out and, well, we'll have to start making some ammo, which I think I will use here. You know what? Actually, I'm going to stop doing this, and I'm going to make a little setup for some ammo here along this belt so that we can have some ammo ready to go for the next episode where we need to start destroying the biters. I'm just going to do like a little setup for this. And I ran out of green circuits, I see. Come over here with this thing. And then a little setup here of there and there. Inserting iron into making ammo. And then we'll have a box here. And we'll drop that ammo into the box. And I messed up. Go there. That's fine. Okay. So we probably didn't need that. Yeah, we don't need that one. That's better anyway. So I think we're going to leave this here. We made a little bit more progress in the automation front this time. And then next time we can finish this copper thing, or I might do this off camera, and then we can go out and find the biters and try and clear them up. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.